What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV, and I swear to you, that was one of the worst things I've seen in my life. Whenever you think it can't get worse for this football club, it gets fucking worse. Do you think it can't get worse than 5 losses in a row? Well, bang snap, Spurs have now lost 6 in a row for the first time in the club's entire fucking history. This club is an absolute shambles. You think the manager makes a bold call, finally drops Vicario, Kinski comes in, Kinski's off after 15 minutes after 2 clangers, and we're 3-0 down after 15 minutes. After 23 minutes, we're 4-0 down. How are you 4-0 down after fucking 23 minutes in a game in the Champions League? That is an utter embarrassment from everyone involved. Kinski, 2 absolute howlers. Van de Ven slipping on the pitch and letting the goal in. Everyone needs to hang their heads in shame after what the shambles was on that football pitch today, man. 4-0 after 23 minutes. Are you kidding me?
It's a disgrace. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that first half an hour today at the Wanda Metropolitana. You think you're going into this Champions League game with a sense of reprieve, you know, Champions League, we've done all right in that competition this season. Premier League has got defeat after bad result after bad result. You're thinking tonight, pressure's off. Maybe they'll perform, maybe they'll bring something to the table. It was even worse. It was worse than I've ever could have expected. It was an utter disgrace. That first half an hour, if you think we weren't relegation fodder before today, you see that first half an hour.
That was up there with the Newcastle game.
That was up there with some of the worst football, some of the worst displays.
That was Stellini all over it. Like,
I've never seen anything like it.
I said after Crystal Palace, this manager's got to go. This manager has no clue. Surely after today, you've got to agree.
It was like an ice ring out there. Everyone was just slipping and sliding. I've never seen players make such mistakes in such a pivotal game. That must be a record for Champions League as well. 4-0 after 23 minutes. I have never seen that happen in Champions League history. I have also, in my Tottenham supporting life, never seen a goalkeeper substituted after 15 minutes after 2 howlers. It is the biggest embarrassment I've ever seen, and I understand we're in a relegation fight. I understand we didn't need this game tonight, but if anything, it's just compounded the worries and the problems that Tottenham have and have had over the course of the last few weeks and for the majority of the season. It is absolute disgrace what happened on that football pitch. The lack of professionalism, the lack of just basics on a football pitch. I have never seen the like I saw today. Kinski just gifting them goals. Like the third goal, he literally just passed it for an open goal. I've never seen a goalkeeper do that, honestly, in a Tottenham shirt. I've never seen a Tottenham goalkeeper do that. The first goal, he's slipping and gives it straight to, I think, Marcus Llorente, who scored. The second goal, Van de Ven slipping and sliding and gives him a goal. It was an absolute disgrace. And you wanted to keep it tight tonight. We said before the game, you keep it to like a 1-goal deficit, you keep it tight, and maybe second leg there's something to play for. But 4-0 down after 23 minutes. I've never seen a 2-legged tie over after 23 minutes in the first leg.
Mate,
I've never seen it.
15 minutes.
I've never seen that in my life.
After 15 minutes, it was over then. Forget 23 minutes.
And I know we did get it back to 5-2 in the end, but the most annoying thing is we got it back to 4-1. Porro gets a goal. Then Richarlison has an unbelievable chance to make it 4-2. He misses it, and they go and make it 5-1 immediately. Straight away. So all of a sudden we had a route back in the game. Within seconds, the game was taken away from us, and it's finished 5-1 or 5-2 in the end. Slanky gets a goal. By the way, the goal that we scored, we were gifted as well. They would just take their foot off the gas. We were lucky the Atletico took their foot off the gas, because it could have been a lot worse tonight. And I think Atletico, I don't know whether they took pity on us or whether they got ahead of themselves and they were just lackadaisical, because it should have been a lot worse. It was levels tonight, wasn't it? Absolute levels you can see between the sides.
Every single
Tottenham
week,
are clueless.
Every single week it's boys against men on the football pitch. Every single week. We're seeing clanger after clanger after clanger, individual error after individual error.
And tonight tops the lot, I would say. Tonight tops the lot. It was
it's like you literally come into every game not expecting. How can it get worse than last week? How can it get worse? And they top it every single week.
It's madness. The calamities that Tottenham put us through is absolutely incredible. And Igor Tudor, as you say, by the way, right at the end of the game, I don't know if you saw it because we left a minute early, but Paulinho Romero apparently went off with concussion as well. Apparently both of them went off.
Yeah.
So whether they're going to be available for the weekend, which is a massive game against Liverpool.
If they've both gone off with concussion, that's 10 days, both of them.
100 exactly. So if they've both gone off, I didn't really see what happened, but I've heard they both went off with concussion.
Romero definitely went off.
So if that's happened, then they're both going to be out for the weekend, which is a massive game, and that means Van der Ven and Romero both could be out for the weekend. It's just, it couldn't get any worse. It's just a calamity, isn't it? It's an absolute calamity. When you think it can't get any worse, it just somehow manages to find a way.
Everything that could possibly go wrong is going wrong right now, and it's just like I've been going on and trying to like manifest staying up, but it's like you can't defend anything that's going on the pitch.
It's a disgrace.
And anyone that thinks that we're going to stay up, and I'm one of these people, anyone that thinks we're going to stay up, it's just pure utter delusion.
Just look what we're
pure utter
putting out there.
delusion.
They played like we play like we're some lower league La Liga side. Like that's how Atletico played us. They went for us. They put us under pressure. It's gone dark at the moment, but they put us under unbelievable amounts of pressure. We just couldn't handle it. We couldn't play out the back. We couldn't beat their press. We basically were just giving them goals, and we couldn't hurt them pretty much. We got a couple of goals, but mostly from their mistakes. It wasn't due to anything great that we did. I understand we were pressing a bit, and maybe that's what got us the goals. But at the end of the day,
the game was over.
The game was over. The game was over, and
the game was over after 20 minutes.
It is just. I'm watching tonight, and I'm like, how am I supposed to take any sort of confidence or anything from tonight when it comes to kind of like belief that we're going to stay up, or belief that we're not as bad as people think, or belief that these players are not too terrible. Tonight it showed, didn't it? It showed the levels.
Mate, the levels are so far, and this was a Champions League team. We're talking about playing the teams that are fighting down at the bottom with us. We've got Nottingham Forest in a couple of weeks. The levels are going to be high in that game. You know what I mean?
We got to just rest everyone in that second leg and go all out for Forest, because this tie's over. I understand we were talking before the game, does this match mean anything? Should we rest everyone? We played a full strength team and we got absolutely thrashed. And I think on that basis, you got to think that second leg, it's a dead rubber at this point. We're not going through. We're 3 goals down.
Spurs fans are trying to look at the positives, are trying to move forward and trying to envisage a way that, you know, we can end with something that doesn't end in complete disaster in this season. At the Arsenal game, everyone's like, all right, new manager bounce, you know, maybe something can happen. We both predicted draws in that game. Crystal Palace game, you know, people were predicting that Spurs will get over the line in this game because it's Crystal Palace at home, and you know the games that we've had have been bloody difficult. And Tudor to come in against Arsenal at home, you know, it's an uphill battle from there. But Crystal Palace, surely we got predicted on in that game, more individual errors.
You know, it's been like that.
Come to this.
It's been like that all season. You know, especially recently. West Ham, you're like, oh, if he loses the West Ham game, you know, we're in a relegation battle. Surely he's got to go, and we lost that. They're like, okay, Burnley. Surely we got to get a win against Burnley. We didn't even win that game, and it's been result after result where we've embarrassed ourselves, we've fallen flat on our faces, and based on tonight, based on what we're seeing recently, based on form, based on every single bit of evidence that you can see, we're getting relegated, we're going down, we're going to get dunked out the Champions League in the round of 16, and the future of this football club is at stake at the moment. It is so hard to take being a Tottenham fan watching what we're watching right now.
How can we be breaking records for the first time? Literally, statistically, this is the worst team Spurs have had on record. 6 losses in a row. 6 losses in a row.
And it's going to be 7 on Sunday when we lose to Liverpool away.
How have we got to this situation when we haven't won in 2026? We have not won a game in 2026.
And it's 2 in 20 games. 2 in 20 in the Premier League.
Every game is getting worse and worse and worse. There's no sign of any positive change.
Eagle hasn't turned it around. Eagle hasn't had the desired effect. I don't know what we do with that situation because we just brought him in. He's been here 4 games. We've pretty much been dicked on in every single game. So what do we do? Do we change it again in the hopes of another manager bounce? Or do we give him time? Look, honestly, I think we're screwed either way. I don't really see a solution here. I think we've left it too long to sack Frank. I think the season's a complete mess. Yes, we can wait for players to come back. The reports before this game was that Igor Tudor isn't at risk of being sacked. But the way we got battered today, the way we got opened up so easily, the way we made constant mistakes, I don't really see how it turns around. I really don't see how it turns around.
I said it. He should have gone after Crystal Palace. He needs to go after tonight. He can't do anything to sway these players on side, give them a bit of confidence. The players are out on their feet. The players are rotten to the core as well. You know, they can't seem to put in the effort levels that we require in this level of, you know, position that we're in. This club is just rotten to the core, from top to very bottom, and it's so hard to watch this. It really is so hard to watch this week in, week out. But something needs to change dramatically, and it has to. Like, I'm not having it that it can't change, because it has to change. Because if it doesn't change, then the worst thing imaginable was going to happen.
Honestly, I'm looking at the situation.
It doesn't matter. Everyone's like, oh, you can't play 3 at the back, you can't play this, you can't play... It doesn't matter what formation you play.
I'm looking at the situation, and I find it really hard to look at any kind of situation where it's not a lost cause at the moment. It looks like a complete lost cause. It looks like Tottenham, whatever they do, they're fighting a losing battle against this relegation fight, against these players who don't seem to be giving everything, or can't give everything, or aren't good enough to give everything. Whatever the situation is, it seems as though we're done for. We're done for.
There's got to be something.
I don't know.
There's got to be something. I don't know what that something is,
but
there has to be something.
Give me something in the comments. Let me know, because I can't see a situation out of this. Look, we got to go, but it's dire situations. The Champions League has not been a reprieve tonight. Atletico Madrid showed the levels of what proper teams are at the moment, and we are so far beyond it, it's embarrassing. We were like a non-league side. I think non-league sides would have done better tonight, actually, considering how we played Tamworth last season. We're not at the levels. It's embarrassing.
We're not at the levels in this competition. We're going down. We're definitely not in the levels for the Premier League either. So look, we got a long trip back to London. We'll see you later.